Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rika Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth, and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading his word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Kotas Zayan, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai with another lesson, with another video, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. Gone. So in this lesson, I want to respond or give an answer to a question that I received, and the question reads, I have a question regarding Proverbs 31 verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. My question is, are heathen women more trustworthy? The reason I ask is because the scriptures say that if he doesn't trust her, he will have need of spoil. So is the spoil more trustworthy? So this is a sincere question that I got, and I'm going to try to answer it to the best of my abilities. And for the understanding, let's go to the scripture which he was talking about. Proverbs 31. And let's start at verse 10. And it is entitled, The Good Wife. And it reads, Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? See, so the point of this this section in this chapter, it goes into a virtuous woman, a good wife. Let me go to the Blue Letter Bible, and let's go into that word virtuous. And the word virtuous is chayal, and the outline of biblical usage says strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, strength. You see, so it also goes into wealth. That's why it says, and read it again, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? Gone, because she herself is worth more than rubies, because she brings something to the table. You see? And let's go to Ecclesiastes 7, because mind you, a virtuous woman, a good woman, is hard to find. This is Ecclesiastes 7 verse 27. Behold, this have I found. Let me see. Gone. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 27. Behold, this I have found, said the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I found not. One man among 1,000 have I found, meaning among 1,000 men there was only one just and righteous, back in that time. So what about now? Because now, wickedness has multiplied upon the earth. You see? So it was hard to find a righteous man back then. But a woman among all these, but a woman among all those have I not found. So to find a righteous, virtuous, and upright woman is going to be hard, because back in that time, the prophets couldn't find them. The preachers couldn't find them. You see? Verse 29, Lo, this only have I found, that Yahweh had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. So this goes back into the Garden of Eden. That man was created upright, that he had all the law, statutes, and commandments in. He received them orally. He knew what was good, but then they sought out evil inventions, and the evil inventions, is the works of these other nations. They took those customs upon themselves, the Adamites. See? because there wasn't only Adam and Eve, it was a nation, the Adamites. You see? There was not only one man and one woman, there were many men and many women. God. But going back to Proverbs 31, verse 10, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. So it is a hard thing to find a virtuous woman. That's one thing. Verse 11, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he have no need of spoil. God. So she was going into the word trust, which is basach in Lashon Kodash. Outline of biblical usage says to trust in, to have confidence, to be confident, to be bold, to be secure, to cause to trust, to make secure, to feel safe, to be careless. You see, so if a man has a woman that he can trust, he's gonna be careless. He's not gonna have other cares, to get more increase, to take care of her and stuff like that. No, man. If it is a virtuous woman, a righteous woman, she is not gonna ask too much of you. But the scripture do say you got to give your duty of marriage. You got to do your duty of marriage. You got to clothe her and stuff like that. You see? But she is not gonna be nagging you the whole time for more and more and more. Let's see. The strong definition says refuge, to trust, to be confident, sure, to be bold, careless. God. Let's go into that word spoil. Spoil, which is shalal. And the outline of biblical use, it says prey, plunder, spoil, booty, prey, booty, spoil, plunder of war. You see, so to increase your goods by way of war, by overthrowing and overcoming nations. You're not gonna have need of spoil, because the spoil goes into, riches, supplies, stuff like that. So if you have a virtuous woman, a good wife, you are gonna dwell without care, as it says. You're gonna have trust in her, and you're gonna not have need of to greatly increase via war. Why? Let's go to Ecclesiastes. It's like Ecclesiasticus, book of Sirach. Verse 4. Sirach 22, verse 4. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness. So let me read it again. Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, 22, verse 4. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband. So she's going to add unto her husband. She's not going to add more cares onto him. She's going to make him careless, meaning not having stress. And he's not going to he's not going to have need of spoil. He's not going to have to need to increase his riches by spoiling other people, other nations, other, he doesn't have to engage in war, because she herself is going to bring an inheritance to her husband. But she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness. You see? So, if you read on with that understanding in the book of Proverbs, then you're going to see that she is the one that is also bringing an inheritance to her husband. So that's why he's not going to have need of spoil. He's not going to have need of increase, because spoil is what you get through warfare. And of course, you also get women through warfare. When you kill their family and loved ones, then they need to go to a state of mourning. You got to shave them, clip their nails and stuff like that. And after that, period of time, you can take them as concubines. You can take them as slaves, you know, to clean your house, to make food and stuff like that. You see? But the main reason here is not that spoil are these women. Spoil is the increase of the man, of the husband. So let's read on. Proverbs 31, verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Let me see. I think it's in Sirach 25. Or 26. Gone. This is the book of Sirach 26, Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good woman is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So a good woman is going to be given unto a man of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You see? And then if you read the book of Sirach 25 and 26, it's going to explain to you certain things. These are nuggets of knowledge, you see? It's going to give you the spirit to discern better between a wicked woman and a good woman, you see? Because an evil woman is given unto an evil man, and a good woman is given unto a good man, a man of the Lord, a man that feared Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. See? So going back, Proverbs 31, verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. You see, you're not going to have any care about her because she's going to take care of herself. And she is also going to bring increase unto your empire, unto your household. Verse 15, she riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household. See, in the early morning she starts to fix the food and everything for the household, and a portion to her maidens, to the other carers of the household, because she is the wife, but you have her concubines also. You see, her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She strengthened out her hands to the poor. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her strength, her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. God. So all of this goes into what a virtuous woman does. She increases the husband. You see, she's also a pillar of rest to the husband, as it says in the scriptures. Is it, but nowadays it's hard to find because of the curses. We are under the curses, as well as the women of our nation. They are also under the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, because that's how our women were. They they were so petite and so delicate that they didn't want their souls to touch the earth. They had to have, coverings over their feet always. Their feet wouldn't have been dirty and stuff. They had ornaments and mincing around the ankles of their foot that you would hear them coming from afar, you know. And that was the delicateness of our women. But nowadays, this is what happened. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. And so the husband where she lays her head on his bosom, or his head on her bosom, because that's what you do when you are in a relationship with a man, or with a man. If the woman is in a relationship with a man, she rested her head on his bosom, and the man likewise. Because they are at ease. She is a pillar of rest. He just rested his head on his bosom. So it says, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. You see, so she's going to be evil towards her household. And it also says that in the book of Lamentations. Lamentations 4. 4 verse 2, and I'm going to read till verse 3. This is Lamentations 4 and 2. The precious sons of Zion comparable. Let me read it again. This is Lamentations 4 verse 2. The precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the works of the hand of the potter? God. So the sons of the Most High, the men of the Most High, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, they were compared to fine gold. Those are the jewels of the Most High. This is his favorite nation. We were favored as gold towards the Most High, but now we have become as earthen pitchers, which is a pitcher, which is a canister made out of clay. It's not made out of gold. If you have a canister made out of clay and a canister made out of gold, which one is more precious and more beautiful? The one made out of gold, you see? So now we are seen as a earthen pitcher, a canister made out of clay. No beauty in it. So reading on, Lamentations 4 and 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. So even the sea monsters, they take out their bosom, their breast, and they give their young to eat. But the daughters of Zion, they have become so wicked, that they throw away babies as soon as they get them, just like an ostrich. The ostrich lays an egg and he bears it, and then she goes along. She goes her way. See, and that's how our daughters of our nation have become, the women of Israel. Verse 4. The tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. God. Our children, they are being, not nurtured. They're being left and only eating crumbs, Our children are being left. If you look at the, I just had the word. The places where you go to get a child. Not a nursing home, but when you go from house to house. I forgot what the exact name was, but there you have our children, mostly our Jakes, and these Edomites, they take these Jake children because they're like, oh, look at the hair, and I always wanted dark skin or something with a child with more pigmentation than me and stuff like that. So these houses are filled with Jake children, because the Jakes, the women that get these children, they think that they can't take care of them, so they give it away. They leave it in the hospital or whatnot. Yeah, man. So coming back to the question, it's not a thing of being trustworthy. It's more a thing that she brings an inheritance to the man, to her husband, as we read in the book of Sirach 22:4. You see? So he's not going to have need of spoil. He's not going to have need to, by warfare, increase his substance. And it's not specifically about the spoil, which is the other nations, their women. That's not specifically about that. It's more about increasing riches. So with that, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham Rekakodash, Shalom.